Everyone knows him as the triple duelist lineup, and then they come in double controller, double initiator on Ascent. So what changes have TSM made? Because it's been very clear, at least to the general public, that TSM have definitely needed to make changes. Overall, they've been a very strong team, right? It hasn't necessarily been like they're getting washed over in that game against Gen G. It was still a competitive match. So what do they have in store for us, given the week period that they've had to reset, practice, and think of new ideas to go again in the third open qualifier? Well, like we said, they bring in the Killjoy onto Hayes. They swap him out off of the Brimstone. So big news, at least for their side. But LGI, is this really going to be enough? The slight change that TSM have for LGI to upset? I don't think so, Gus, but we're headed into the pistol round.
Yes, sir. They're running single duelist. They even have the breach in the back. Heavy flash control at this point. They have the paranoia. Triple coming up on the breach, too. Does look like they're going for a little bit of an A push already. Out from the bathroom side, Wardell has the cross up, but he's not able to hit his shots. Still, you have Subrosa with a cross up. Getting a couple shots in, but Secrets takes it back. But look at the damage done. Wardell can clean up a little bit. There's a player in U-Haul, though. Danny Steele up front. Able to get a burst on. The right clicks work. TSM down to a man disadvantage.
They were hoping to hold on to this U-Haul control, but LGI, they leave one late lurk over towards A short, and they're able to take it back. But Gus, you talked about that damage. That nade could be catastrophic as Drone clears out the U-Haul. It's back to a 3-on-3 with Thumbs trying to contest heavily now into U-Haul.
That's got to be it, right? Hydro with a double. Hayes now in a 1v2. Last two players now for LGI. Lit up in a sense. Has to just get a body shot, but Snake. Slick ol' wide swing. Who would have thunk it, folks? It's LGI with a lead over Team Solo Mid.
Really good exit as well. I mean, to take that showers control, you saw in the early rounds at TSM, they fought for early long control, but when you don't have that showers, those rotations are going to take quite some time, and this overcommitment, I think in particular from Subrosa, right? He swings out while Wardell is kind of just sitting back in U-Haul. They get a whole lot of damage, and then Wardell gets caught unaware because his teammate Subrosa goes down. So LGI, they capitalize off of really a small mistake from TSM, and going forward, you don't expect too much from the guns that TSM have. However, eco rounds are always deadly in these boys' hands, so we'll see if they've got LGI once more attempting another shower stake. It is once more again Subrosa and Wardell, but it's Subrosa with the kill on the Sheriff to kick things off.
Yeah, fade away. They fight for orb, and they're already out of there. They just wanted that first contact, see if they could actually get a frag back, but again, Subrosa completely shutting it down with a very tight angle. Sully, this is officially the first game on stream with the new patch 2.
True.
Nerf things a little bit in terms of the frenzy, but we already saw that pop off. In terms of round number 1, Subrosa
not spotted.
Evading the owl drone, and Wardell, he's not going to get hit by the paranoia, but instead, Lug Lumpy still gets the frag back. Subrosa, good trigger discipline, going to be able to get the frag back. Has the Spectre in his hands. Flash out, wide swing, nobody caught. Lug Lumpy still with another frag back. 2v2, it's Cutler and Subrosa trying to make some space, trying to isolate, but at this point, they do have a good conservative setup. It's just Hydro looking over towards site. They do have eyes on U-Haul, but looks like both players from TSM are just trying to make their way on directly. Cutler with a full smoke up. Is a little bit scared at this point. Shock dart in. Double shock dart. Not going to be able to hit the second. Hydro has the angle. Even the recon dart going to be able to reveal the other one. Hydro! 1v2! LGI! They have the second round conversion.
You were hoping that TSM were going to pick up that round. I mean, they were in such a prime position to do so. You were hoping maybe Wardell gets a little cheeky kill and U-Haul off the Bucky. Doesn't get much from it. You even mentioned the missed paranoia and the opportunity that presented itself right in front of Wardell. They couldn't get anything going. It came down to a 2v1 and a big play from Hydro to give LGI that second round conversion. Now TSM, they've managed their economy well enough, and they've done enough damage to LGI where they're gonna have a much stronger buy going to this one. It's LGI that are scraping together pistols and stingers, whatever they can to muster against TSM's full buy here. And well, with TSM's definite weapon advantage, you hope this round goes their way. Drone will find a lot off of that early boom, but he'll get a decent bit of information, but will ultimately have to concede that control. They've got double nanostorms leading up into the B site, so they're very adamant at maintaining this left side of site here, Gus.
It's a decent setup. Not only that, but that guy is going to help out at least with Hayes swings. That first contact with the turret won't go out, and he's going to get overwhelmed by Danny Steele, but Droney actually gets himself a lineup. gets a double. Hydro Snake still fragging back. Good stuff from Snake. And even then, only one man remaining.
This is super
None other than
winnable.
Hydro with Spike at least isolated. You call it winnable, but again, we've already seen it from Hydro before. This time he only has a Spectre in his hands. Sabrosa does have the timing over towards Long. Good shoulder peeks, and it's disciplined. He's already out of there. Just has to wait for Hydro to take his time up. They have eyes everywhere.
30 seconds left.
They're not holding
Crossfire in
across,
that
though.
same spot.
Not necessarily a crossfire. I mean, yeah.
No, not anymore.
Drone can easily swing back. Oh, if Hydro could have gone the kill on a Sabrosa, definitely could have isolated the second 1v1. Good positions held by TSM, but still very, very scrappy given the guns that LGI had. They didn't have anything better than a Spectre going into that one, so I don't think they're going to be too disappointed with that round. They'll honestly be pretty happy with it. So TSM, they do suffer heavy consequences economically, and LGI, big round coming up for them to reset TSM and possibly take the round back. Now, what are these flying orbs? Have these ever been here? I don't think they've ever been here.
Oh, man.
I want to think it's in relation to the new agent, but I'm not going to say it.
I don't know. I don't know. I saw like the notes earlier, like Reyna question mark, but like it's not. Like, yeah, no clue, no clue. Riot loves to tease. LGI teasing at least with a little bit of a confidence 2 rounds, but again with a buyback from TSM, their economy is reeling a little bit too. LGI, they now have the Rolling Thunder with everyone in Long except for one. This could be a quick take, Sully.
Yeah, so now TSM, they've got all the info. You saw Sabrosa get deep in his showers, get all this control. That allows Drone to make that rotation, and they're expecting now the Rolling Thunder, I'd imagine here, right? 2 nanostorms to at least help Hazed in this position. Drone still behind as the Raze. He can easily blast back in and do so much damage, but there goes the Rolling Thunder. It'll only hit one in the back sight. I think Drone might have been affected as well, and Danny Steele up close. Color with the timing, but the swing isn't good enough.
Wow.
Now they've got to play retake as the spike will go down, and they are so out of position, TSM.
So unfortunate for Cutler, but LGI with a 2-man advantage off the post plant. Looking at how they're playing it. Just 1 in each extremity and 3 on site.
Wow.
It is going to be the Hunter's Fury from Secrets, and it hits on target already. The dash not going to hit. Well put on, but now Drone trying to attack. Flash shot from Tin Can, still trying to execute. Lumpy does have the cross up. Sabrosa goes down. The shock dart's not hitting. Still a showstopper onto Drone.
No way.
Secrets 28 HP. Then he gets the kill back. Wardell 1v4. The best thing that this man can do is save LGI. They win a rifle round against TSM.
That is massive from LGI. Insane execution. I mean, it was so predictable from them as well. I thought TSM surely had some kind of contingency, right? But Drone gets stunned in the back, and he can't do anything to help. Hazed in the middle of the site. LGI, they take full advantage, using their ultimates to the utmost capacity that they can. And I mean, they steal a run off TSM. This timing for Cutler is just so unfortunate because he could have gotten so much off of that. Flashes like 3 players there, but can't find anything. So now TSM, Wardell being the only one saving a rifle. He does have the Blade Storm online, so I'm curious to see if he'll toss the rifle on over. It doesn't look like it. So LGI, 3-1 start. TSM definitely be hoping to do a little bit more in this one, right? Just pull guns out of their hands. Sabrosa has been contesting showers. This is tricky as he's gone down already to Snake.
We're being told by your producers that LGI stands for Let's Get It. Let's get it then. Let's get this dub, boys. TSM up against the ropes against a team like LGI who have only played a singular official game together. Mounting on a couple of rounds and now mounting on a take. Triple util over in U-Haul. This is a pure minefield if Lumpy actually wants to go for this one, but actually stuff from Snake. Well, he's clearing up some space, but whoa, Cutler and Haze, they both lose out their battles. But now it's Drone in a 1v5. Already took down one, has a couple of lineups, able to get another one, but it's just a crack in the armor at this point. LGI, more than enough cash to reinvest, and they get themselves a 4th.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it is right now. TSM kind of getting walked over. Obviously, it is very early days. This was definitely just an eco. But even then, in that rifle round in particular, TSM had essentially all the information. It's really LGI. I think the main rounds that they've won have been either an eco against TSM or they've been really using ults to try and get into the site. So I wouldn't be too worried just yet over TSM, right? It's not that LGI are absolutely dominating them and crushing TSM right now. It's that TSM, they're still trying to adapt to the LGI style. I mean, give it like the 7th round where they haven't adapted and LGI are up 6-1, then we've got some issues. But Wardell, we get a bit of information. This time LGI playing a little bit more of a default and TSM not pushing too many extremities as they really only maintain hookah at the moment. That bird from Cutler's not going to get much info either, as Secrets isn't even taking that peek.
Yeah, usually when you see a game like this, I'm inclined to say the word puggy, but LGI is actually looking really organized at the moment. I do like these takes on, but I at least like the early round formations. Yeah. At least in terms of trade potential, they know that Bathroom isn't exactly a hotly contested area. They know that Sabrosa is still around.
Yeah, I think it's mainly because they've punished Sabrosa in the past. I mean, Sabrosa hasn't been able to get much value out of Showers at all, so they can take this for free, and now they're knocking on the doorstep with one late lurk.
That turned in a weird position too, but in we go. Danny Steele already with a pick back. Wardell fishing, but not going to find anything in short. Instead now, Sabrosa still sticking around sight. Spike isn't around. They were still looking for that rotation back. They do have a rotation cam, but even then, Sabrosa with a paranoia trying to clear up space, but Lumpy takes him back. Drone sticking around in hookah, but it's only a singular man around. Wardell does at least get the frag back, but Secrets with a trade. 2v2 play will be able to go down.
Oh, look at this early advantage as well, up in top of heaven. Cutler, I think, has read it, though. He realized he heard the sound cue, but he gets nothing from it. Oh! Huge fluff from Cutler, and Drone left in a clutch. This is immaculate from LGI. They set up a fake off of the cabbages, off of the Seekers, apologies, and double fake back to B to draw the Seekers away, and then they come back to A. This is so smart, and now they've got an advantage.
Oh, I was about to say they have no idea he's here, but that's wonderful. Drone now in a 1v2. They already have the info that he's on site. Just has to stick it a little bit. Gonna be able to go down to half.
He might stick it all the way.
Yeah, there you go. But there goes the swing from the back. Drone still has a showstopper. 2 players around. Double swing. And Secrets has a 3K. Planned it out pick by pick. That is fundamental Valorant in that round. And I don't know what to tell you. TSM, they might just be getting, at least in that take alone, they got overwhelmed.
That is honestly a huge outplay from LGI. So there was one main thing that happened. So the Seekers, they kind of got stuck in hookah. They were kind of dancing back and forth between going through spawn or going through mid. So what LGI did is they rotated 2 players back to where I think it was Hydro, where he was sitting down by Market, and that drew 2 Seekers back towards the B side. So then an overcommitment, I think in particular from Drone to rotate back, huge overplay from LGI to give them the 5th. But it's 4 ults for both sides, and TSM have some of their most important ones lined up, and LGI are taking things extremely slow. They have disciplined TSM early on and have given themselves a lot of room to work with now.
And just thinking frag-wise again, if Secret doesn't go for that ballsy peak, I mean, that would have been it, right? TSM would have been able to take that one back, easy peasy. But, well, folks, we're already moving on to the next one, and Wardell, the knives, the right click, it doesn't connect. Still in U-Haul, they want to take up that control. They're executing around 3 players towards that area. They have a lot of util towards site. They are going for a plant, but they want to stick off of it just in case a player from TSM actually wants to peek out through the smokes. Good tight angle from Drone, but in goes the wide rotation. Oh. There you go, Hayes. Love that. Hayes sticks around. Same thing with Sabrosa. Now they can pop off as LGI down to a man's disadvantage. Now they just start to hound.
Yeah, they caught Wardell in that TP as well, so they're going to slow things down. Plenty of time to work things out. Sabrosa's going to take a more advantageous position to cut off rotations back to A through the TP, but LGI once more playing a double fake. That Trailblazer's going to get deep into U-Haul, but won't peer into short. So TSM have to make this gamble. 2-2 split. LGI have done this extremely well. You split this defense where you now have a more advantageous position. They're looking for the 2v2, and now it's a 2v1 here on the A site, Gus. Spike can go down relatively freely here if Drone had not gone for the swing. TSM up the eco will finally be able to net themselves a second round, and LGI, they got to stay alive after time here. Drone's still looking for blood, though.
Yeah, that round was all about the timing. LGI, they tried to make their approach over towards the A site, but that's actually one thing that we've been seeing a whole lot from them is an overstack of util, overstack of the smokes. It's between the dark cover and the cages that they keep placing up in the same area. It's a decent idea, but it's just overdoing it in a sense. They actually overwhelmed themselves on site to the point where they actually might have gotten a little bit paranoid. May have been fake plant too, may have been premeditated, but still LGI, they had their chance early on to take more control and they might have just overwhelmed themselves.
Recon Bolt actually doesn't get a lot of info. They could still be one in Octagon, so that's why they're going to use extra utility to clear things out now. A couple posted up in Hookah. Crossfire between Cutler and Drone as the Drone starts to clear things out by secrets. And once more, you have Hydro on that late lurk. Wardell's got a very big position. They know exactly where this hit's coming from. And if they want to take the TP, Wardell will be 100% ready for this play. And I think that's what LGI are thinking. So far, the name of the game and what's given them the round so far is fake out TSM, draw rotations, and then rotate back to the other side. So an early dash out from Danny Seal. He gets caught up by Cutler however. And yeah, this is maybe a call for LGI to make that rotation. But TSM, they're anticipating the TP play right now. They're ready for it if it comes.
I know, but Cutler gonna peek out a little bit early on, but
No,
still Hydro! Okay, still gonna win the battle against Drone. In comes Hayes, but Hydro wins it again. How is Hydro the one to win that out? Lockdown goes down to the Hunter's Fury. Lug Lumpy overwhelms Subros off the peak. Wardell now in a 1v4 can take it frag by frag. Let's see what happens. Plant still hasn't gone down, but it's about to. Wardell is gonna attempt this. The rest of his team's cash purely in shambles. Timing off of an elbow peak could be pivotal.
Close.
Wardell doesn't know it, but that was close. Again, just trying any sort of luck in his hands, and at this point, just looking for some sort of early contact just for him to make his way through. But look how conservative LGI is playing this, Sully.
Yeah, they know they don't have to take any peeks because it is an operator from Wardell. They know he doesn't have any knives. And from the shots they've heard, he's still stuck to the operator. So now that he's been revealed, he needs to get out of there. Can't do much about that one. Wardell was hoping that he could get something going, but LGI, single flash, I think in particular, from the back of Hookah, forces Wardell to spend even more time being cautious in case Hydro wants to swing again. Speaking of Hydro, goes massive in that one. Big 3K, the double clearance in Hookah as well. I mean, if he hadn't gotten those kills, you would have expected LGI to cancel and finally make that rotation, but Hydro, he comes up so clutch in this position. It's unbelievable.
And again, how is Hydro the one to win that fight? That's insane to me. The fact that he even had an eye in that situation. I mean, yeah, I mean that's an angle from Hookah for sure. But there was also a Hunter's Fury in the middle there. Like, I don't know. My eyes couldn't take that one for sure. But LGI certainly at least taking up an even half here on the attacker's side, but still a whole lot more work to do. TSM with a little bit more of a scattered buy this round. Is this the right move, Sully?
Well, in this circumstance, it's like you kind of have to. You need to at least like maybe one or two rifles here or there to win out a round. Snake only one kill now off the Rolling Thunder. You still have that Wardell operator, so this could be very game changer. Drone as well on a Vandal, and they've stacked the right site. They've got info out towards long, but LGI are revealing nothing from their hand. No one is peered in towards Hookah and spotted these two players out. So LGI playing the deprivation information game. TP into Octagon to reveal two players. Now they know they need to play this position for the retake. They do have a breach flash to go in, which it looks like is already posted up here to take Octagon. So LGI have a really good setup. Wardell misses the shot. Cutler's there to pick things up, but trades go back, and LGI, they're storming the site now, but TSM are putting up one heck of a fight so far.
Oh, and it's Wardell holding things down too. Good old double.
30 seconds
That's what
left.
you expect, but this time it was a little bit more, I guess I could say, clear cuts of a take from LGI too. Split between B, double long, double hookah. It's not exactly that insane to take on, but Hydro, he's been going nuts in the last couple of rounds, and now he has an opportunity to really spread his wings. Still has to clear this awkward bathroom angle, which is now green box.
Oh my gosh.
Hydro catches up one, and okay. The isolation. The schmovement. I see you, Hydro. But it's still going to be Subrosa with a trade back. There's barely any time. TSM definitely going to be able to win out the round, but Cool to see Hydro still
Yeah.
actually fragging. This guy has 12 kills in the server.
If there was a person off of LGI to win that round, I would bet money Hydro could have won it there. 1v4, like you said, Isolate's really good 1v1s, and TSM, it's a big round for them because it would have put LGI in a guaranteed lead going into the second half on their map pick. Still, it's a strong one for TSM, but good op movement from Wardell in particular. Really good at shutting down the early engagements out towards B. And now LGI, they know they're up against a full buy in Wardell. This is the name for TSM. They realize LGI are just taking space for free, and they're going to take some back. Wardell with an early peak. And they know that there's nobody out towards the B long position. And with Wardell's positioning, they can gamble these rotations, right? Because they can't take that fast TP into the B site. They're going to have to commit a whole lot here. And Wardell will be paranoid off the angle. And the exit comes in. Danny Steele in the back. But LGI are starting to fall apart at the seams as the push has been canceled already.
Snake still getting pressured out. Drone, good spot. Not only that, but you mentioned the Seekers, Sully. Still one going over towards the bathrooms area. Snake is still around. Hydro, same thing. Over in short, still trying to fight. You still have the trips in mid. It's at least decent for the lurk that TSM had actually pulled in the last round. I don't think they actually knew that, but it's still pretty decent. Still just about 30 seconds left. There's really nothing that LGI can do at this point other than just to wait up for a couple of picks, which TSM, they're actually fishing up a little bit in terms of angles, but otherwise staying pretty conservative, staying pretty disciplined, especially with the insurance policy over towards long.
Yeah, TSM, they really can't afford to give up any more kills, economically speaking, because they haven't necessarily been the most financially stable. So it's key that they keep as many players alive. You let LGI get away with these guns, but at least you hold on to 4. That's the big thing. The risk and the reward, maybe not too worth it. Sabrosa, well, there's the risk, and now you've been punished for it. So only 3 rifles walked away here by TSM. Still not too shabby. Now, had Cutler gone down, that would have been a different story, but he does pick back up the operator for we're down the neck. So the risk there is a lot more worth it in the event of Sabrosa going for that peak. So LGI, 2 players only get 1,000 credits from that round. They're going to be in a little bit of a shaky state, but they do still have some ultimates. That Rolling Thunder can be big if they want to use it for save it for the last round of this half. But TSM,
right,
this time around, will definitely have some credits back in them if they end up dropping this one.
It looks like a technical pause now for one of the players from Tactical. Excuse me, Tactical. From LGI. I mean, I just keep going through the motions, Sully. I mean, to see such a team that doesn't exactly have that professional experience actually going for a tactical pause like this to really actually take their time, maybe reset mental, talk about their take. I mean, that's a regular veteran move.
I would say it makes
crazy.
sense for LGI at this particular point because you're in a winnable position and you need to maximize the rounds you get on the defense, or apologies, on the attack. So if you can get away 7 or 8 here, this is all of a sudden possibly 3 maps on the cards for LGI. Now I say that they could have the craziest strat book in Icebox that we've never seen before just because they've never played Icebox. They only played once against the Pittsburgh Knights in the second open qualifier, so this is as unknown as it gets. Sabrosa's going to try and challenge. The Owl Drone will force him off just a little bit, but there isn't really much they can do to punish him now. He's running out of bullets here, so he's going to have to back away for now, regroup with the rest of his team. And with that pressure from LGI, it won't shift many players over towards the B side as Sabrosa fully flashed. Where's the kill? 2 players get flashed. Danny Steele goes down to his own teammates' flash points. And we're back to a 4-on-4, but rifles have been picked up now for LGI.
Still decent opening. They went out the battle for the orb. That's going to be big going into the last round.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Of course, we still have to pay attention to this one because they're still hazed up in Hookah. He's been playing around these more upwards position in terms of first contact on B off of LGI's first showing on A. But he does pivot on back. He does have turret in that headshot position in the back of Tin Can. Not only that, but actually Nano Swarm and Alarm Bot over towards the long position. So it has things relatively down. Same thing with, if I'm not mistaken, Hay still around site. Should be definitely a little bit tougher for this team to make it through. Excuse me, it's actually Color on the sky, but the Rolling Thunder actually used. That's a bold strategy to say the least, but with 17 seconds left, certainly running out of time. They're gonna burst out. There's already 3 players for TSM around. Secret Desk takes one back. Cutler looking for another one. Barely any time, but they're still gonna be able to get the bomb plant down. And not only that, but Wardell on his way back. 150 dashes into Tin Can. There's one incoming. Gonna be able to get the first. Not only that, but a player over towards Long. He's still searching. Has the up for the cross up. Doesn't get the kill. 75 HP left. Still could try to find that second one, but Hunter's Fury now, Sully. Oh, but Wardell's already off. He's delaying so much time now, but it's already canceled. Good move! Secrets! That's unreal! The Hunter's Fury doesn't find anything off the first tick. He cancels it, and he goes for the 1v1, and he wins against Wardell.
One of the most important 1v1s that we've had in this first map, in this first half in general, because look what it's done now to TSM. I said they were decent on their economy, but clearly I was wrong. They're not going to be able to suffice the strong fight that they had in the last, and LGI have posted themselves for a possible 8th round now. They used 2 of their major ults though, Gus. They used that Rolling Thunder and Hunter's Fury all to win out that one round. But same thing for TSM. They've committed so many ultimates, and it's bare bones for both of these sides here. Ult orbs will mean almost nothing unless you can accompany them with kills here. But Wardell, he's looking for something. He's on the prowl and he's on the hunt. Look at this positioning. We'll go for the Shower's flank, and this timing could be everything. No way LGI are going to expect this kind of play.
This is what they did earlier. TSM, they've been having decent short potential, but they never ever actually committed to it. Still going for it, and Wardell still gets a kill back, and there you go. Sabrosa, cheeky position. It's gonna be cheesy strats like that that can certainly at least take the edge over a team like LGI. Maybe pugging out a couple of these rounds more than optimal. So Sully, at least a little bit more breathing room for TSM, but they're still down going into the second half.
Yeah, TSM, it's still 5-7, and that's on probably the favored side of Bind. So it's going to need to be a huge pickup. LGI, a really strong performance in this attacking half. They looked really clean, but like we said, TSM, you give them 5 or 6 rounds, and once we hit that 7th round mark and maybe they still haven't adapted, you get worried. But when they hit that 7th round, they finally adapted. Then it became 6-2, 6-3, and then out of nowhere, LGI picked up a big round. So TSM, they keep things definitely competitive, and that's weird to say because TSM are the overdogs. Now LGI, can they do the same thing here on the defense? Like you said, Frenzy meta a little bit out of it nowadays. Well, look at this setup, LGI. It's cheeky plays like this, like you said, it'll catch this team off guard. Whoa, wow.
Okay. I've been missed out on a one-way, but even then, they still went in. Wardell no punish, and not only that, but hazed. So wants to stay back a little bit more disciplined, at least with the turret back towards the spawn area. Again, a little bit weirder of a spot, but even then it gets that first contact. But LGI already with a very preemptive rotation, but it's going to be TSM with almost full control of site.
Owl drone, they don't know that drone's even in this position right now. And surprisingly, they're thinking of backing away here. The spike, it will go down. Drone in the middle of Tin Can. It's now backed up for the default plant. Big fight from Hydro, though. That comes up big for them. He doesn't have a cam for this retake just yet.
Snake.
That's charging up, and Snake could get a big timing on Hayes, but kills. They're going all the way around. Now, Hayes, he has found the first in the 1v4, but they're already stuck. Like, this round is already over. Nothing you can do there if you're Hayes. TSM, falling apart once more in the pistol round. I mean, it's the curse that TSM have had all champions long, or all VCT long, as they can't pick up the pistol, and they can't get it here either.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit of a rarity for them actually to be able to pick up the pistol, at least on this map very specifically. What I remember seeing, at least in terms of attacking side, they've only picked up 20% of the pistol rounds on the attacking side of Bind. So, I mean, it's not exactly efficient, not exactly their most optimal. Again, I could be wrong with that. I could be referencing another map for sure, but even then, it's just been the thing with the VCT overall that TSM, they just haven't put themselves in the most optimal positions to be able to fight out these pistol runs. And not only that, but LGI really played that well in terms of early contacts, in terms of getting pretty good early information, only spawning out 2 players over towards that short rotation, and they actually did maintain a pretty even stack in that last round for what it was. Hunting
already from Danny Steele, down all the way around through the cavern. He's got all the info, and they can stack this B site really confidently. I think going into this one, they were going to be confident regardless. You're going up against pistols here. TSM not electing to force, but Danny Steele with the timing. This is what Wardell tried to do towards Showers. Can Danny Steele be a little more successful here? 3 players grouped up. Oh, a great dash though from Wardell. An even better nade though. What is this from Wardell? Running and gunning, but here comes Danny Steele on the flank. He's got 2, and he's dashed away to give LGI back the advantage.
Player standing.
Hydra takes one back. Sabrosa wants to fight Tin Can, but it doesn't work out in his favor. And the classic here to ring out true. Cutler gets one, but Danny Steele back with another one. That's the second round conversion back for the boys of LGI. And going back to that stat line, I have actually confirmed this. It is actually a 40% win rate only on the attacking side in terms of pistol round. That is, again,
Still
that's
not
just
that
shambles. It's not. It's not
better
great.
than 20%, but it's still not that. It's still not that great.
It's double. It's double for sure. But no, TSM. I mean, you gotta just put it into perspective. What on earth is going on with this team right now? I mean, it's a best of 3. Thank God we're not talking about BO1s right now, but gosh, this is just all over the place.
Yeah, this is a really wonky map from TSM because traditionally their best side is the defense. 66% win rate over the last 7 maps they've played in the VCT, and then a 60% win rate here on the attack. So currently 0-2, and do the math, that's 0% at the moment. So TSM, here's their chance to maybe make it 33 in the 3rd round on their attacking side. But again, Danny Steele on a huge flank. You don't see this too often, and Danny caught off guard. The timing not on his side. Sabrosa's caught the lurk, and now TSM, they're going to reposition off of that kill because they know the overcommitment is now on the A site here, but they're taking things slow to keep LGI grounded here on A.
It's a decent cross. Really just for the info. I don't really expect anything more than potentially a singular frag, but interested in this bounce from Secret. It actually does have a Bulldog. It's a little bit better than expected. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, really decent angle, but they were ready for it. Still Sabrosa around, gonna be able to line up. That's wonderful. Could be able to get a 3rd. Lumpy just doesn't care. Just runs on through. Hopefully training back none other than Sabrosa, but the good old 6-9 score line. TSM, at least with one back, at least maintaining their economy pretty clean, not letting these rounds slip by.
Yeah, they were not expecting to be in this position because TSM takes such a long time to get that rotation, and it doesn't really help that Secrets isn't taking a forward angle, right? That recon bolt was hoping to get some info, but like you said, TSM completely ready for it, and so they have no idea if anyone's pushing to the back site yet. So LGI, they will concede the 3rd, but economy is definitely been on their side in recent times. Danny Steele is going to relax, try and pick up the knives off of the ult torp here, which we'll be able to get online. And TSM with no commitment to that B side. That's a free 5 rifle setup here for LGI here. And this could be a dangerous round as things are going very slow. Hydra with a good cam up top will get a lot of info, and they won't have to take any early peeks. They can maintain U-Haul control relatively free without investing any utility there. And so TSM is a scattered approach here. 2 trips in the front as well will definitely delay and cause rotations for LGI to be a little bit quicker in that fashion.
Steal. It's all around that back line. Could have been a better pivot, but more importantly, it was at least the Hound trying to get a little bit of information. Nothing in the back. LGI going for a full retake against TSM. I mean, if there is anything to dictate the pace of the rest of this game, it has to be this. In we go. Danny Steele is about to say he has to be pivotal in terms of those first frags, but again, he just falls toward Dell. Not only that, but the crossfire is immaculate over in this area. Cutler going to be able to get a second, and well, Hydra and Snake had no chance, didn't they? Just a 1-2 combo around Green Box and TSM. I mean, that's just clear-cut hope.
Yeah, you were hoping LGI maybe put a little more focus into U-Haul, because if you don't have that U-Haul control and you're coming from defender spawn, like we saw Drone kind of sitting and wavering in the back of U-Haul trying to catch players crossing out, it forces LGI to have to focus on 3-4 different angles, and that's super hard to do against TSM when they're holding extremely strong crossfires. So LGI get a little bit flustered in that back line. Now TSM, don't expect too much resistance from LGI here. And now things getting very close. We're at the 4th round now, and TSM have won 2 of them, so 50% so far, nearly at the 60. LGI with minimal guns to work with. It's a B hit here for TSM as the ult orb completely free. Smokes to try and delay, but LGI, they're not committed to this rotation. They're still expecting that maybe TSM want to take the TP, but that's not the case whatsoever. Cam is broken now. LGI with little to no info need to try and get early fights going in. Seekers go out. That'll keep Lug Lumpy in a really tricky position, forcing the open arms of Wardell. They've got the site, and LGI are going to try and attempt to do whatever they can on this retake.
Yeah, clinical take. Even then, Hayes still around the mid area, taking down Danny Steele, who tried to sneak his way through teleporter.
Spike planted.
Actually getting a little bit scared about potentially an early retake from LGI, but they ended up backing out of that idea. Wardell still fighting this. He's pinged out, but Hydra actually gets the kill back onto Wardell. His frenzy is hot thus far. Still, we're getting a little bit of information in an early flash. Subrosa with a lineup. Only going to be able to get one. Still Snake. It's with a decent angle. These exits could be big for LGI if they can line them up, but it's only Hydra now over towards elbow. Cam up. Triple coverage TSM. They have an 8th.
Now within just one. Decent attempt. Only taking 2 players down though. Ults nearing completion for TSM is the big thing. Hayes won off the lockdown, but on the other side, LGI, the Hunters here and the Rolling Thunder, the 2 biggest ults for themselves, could come up huge. So I think we're going to see an early fight for the Showers ult orb from the side of LGI. 4 players stacked up early to the A side. This is an interesting setup here. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it as they leave just Hydro for this retake. They're really banking on the fact that they can get one of these ults charged up to play the retake, but it's going to be a fault line, I think a flashpoint to get this control, and it's completely free for LGI. TSM are not fighting whatsoever towards the A side. They're instead going to focus out towards long, and there are no ults charged here for LGI. They get none of the 2 big ones of the Hunter Series and the Rolling Thunder, so the retake instantly becomes much, much harder now.
All they have is contact. These tripwires purely here to delay just a little bit of time. I do like this camp positioning, but LGI has to be very preemptive in terms of rotations. I do like the short control, but alarm butt up 2. It's actually beautiful from Hayes. Can I at least hold off a little bit to at least give off the illusion that they're around that area, but still TSM trying to make their way through the B side. Lug Lumpy still fighting in the back, actually going for a wide swing, gets caught by drone. Side is fully theirs, but elbow is about to get contested. There might actually be a gap in that smoke, but Hydro, well, he's scared away by the boom bot. Just about 40 seconds left. Spike will be able to go down, but still Secret's able to get one. Over towards spawn of all things, but that's just because of the TP. It was a little bit cheeky to say the least. In it goes. It's a 2-2 formation, Sully. 2 going in towards elbow, 2 from main.
And I like the idea as well from, or you realize now that TSM in that position, Hayes always kept back by his utility and secrets. Hunter Suri now charged up off the kill. He gets onto Sabrosa, and that's where that split comes in because players were so out of position. They've now got to take 1v1s. Wardell's still in the back. You have Hayes holding, and Wardell's got to go big. And now it's on to Hayes. 1 versus 2. He's got the first. Nanoswarm onto the spike as well. Now that's enough time. Nothing Secrets can do, but TSM, they cut things way too close. The positioning that Hayes had to commit to, he had to wait for his alarm bot to go off. You talked about that alarm bot in short, but ultimately it forced a TP from Sabrosa. So next thing you know, you've got 2 players completely disconnected from the main attack, and TSM, they almost get punished because of that positioning.
The dominoes falling one by one, but TSM, they're the ones really building up a house of cards. Starting to fortify itself as we go through, because now LGI, they're starting to stutter a little bit in terms of their own economy and in terms of their own takes. We're starting to see that confidence that they had. Kind of the I did say that I wanted to evade saying the word pugger, but it was almost exactly that, the pugger mentality, just holding W. But I really can't speak, right? Lug Lumpy literally just holding W, gonna be able to get 2. Same thing with Secrets, one back, but now TSM down to a 2v1. But again, Sully, this was pure eco. This was LGI just throwing bodies over towards the short area, and they were still able to win out a couple of trades. However,
this clutch is way too
coming out towards short, and so Lockdown is in a really good position, but they're not actually going for the spike plant. They do have eyes over towards short, but Danny Steele has an op. Could be able to get a contact, but they're actually going for a backside plant.
So I'm thinking Danny is maybe anticipating a rotation back here, but in all reality, they've committed to this A site. So I think at this point, Danny, you can try to tempt it. He's picked up a Vandal over the operator that he had. And this makes things a little bit easier on the clutch now. He can isolate 1v1s. They're both so spread apart, but Sabrosa's crept through on the right side of that smoke. And this is a quick swing from Sabrosa. Wasn't prepared for that at all. Danny Steele, had he stuck around maybe a moment or longer, right? Maybe could have gone in the position a lot easier. It would have definitely been a lot more winnable. But LGI will, for the first time actually, drop the lead as TSM take it 10-9 now.
Oh, I can't believe we're 19 rounds into a game. I mean, that's just the magic of open qualifiers, isn't it?
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get.
Any team at any time. And it's LGI, isn't it? That really were able to go almost 20 rounds against TSM with the lead, but things getting a little bit rough. That flash had to go out a little bit earlier. Trying to fight for that long orb, but it ends up being a detriment. Good stuff from Wardell, at least, just watching over the cross instead of completely fighting. Still a couple players over towards Hookah. Lumpy in a good position, but I think his smoke positioning, his smoke lineup actually ended up exposing it, but no, they didn't. They don't even pay attention to it. Secrets is here with a double. TSM down to a man disadvantage. Spike out in the open, but they're not exactly watching over it. They've abandoned the site, and they're playing a little bit, at least more towards the back.
Yeah, and all those heads swivel. As soon as Lumpy makes that contact, two heads swing to his position, and Secrets chooses the perfect moment to swing, and Danny Steele does end up going down. It's a 1v2 here on the B site, as Hydra's going to make this rotation. Spike will go down. There's no util here to stop it. Now Wardell, what position do they elect to take? They've got a turret to watch the Spike for the swing, but Wardell is the first man to take the duel. And he's just going to check the flank just in case. And Wardell, this is a very tricky predicament, because if he goes down, Hayes is not in an optimal position to play this retake.
Oh, first contact. And taking up good stuff from Wardell. Definitely been a kill conversion, but he's on top. A Tin Can still able to get one. Secrets had really good timing, but Secrets, so unfortunate. Wanted to blow up that nano swarm. Still trying to find the frag. And oh, there you go, Hazed. Still fights it up. Got the lineup anyways. 11-9. TSM finally pushing away from LGI.
Yeah, great timing as well for Hazed on that. Doesn't set it up preemptively so that he can try and catch in that scenario. Secrets off guard with that nanostorm, buys him a couple of extra seconds, and that's all you really need. Now that is a missed shot from Danny Steele. You want that trade to go down, and think about it. If he did win that trade, LGI would have won this round. Hayes wouldn't have had the nanostorms. It would have been Wardell in a 1v2 clutch. So small things line up, and TSM now within 2 of taking this first map as LGI on a very scrappy buy. Stingers, they've recently been nerfed, an extra 100 credits. And the damage or the DPS is not as high as maybe you would have liked your LGI here. Early positioning, that tripwire don't think it really gives any sound cue to Hayes, so that position with Danny Steele is nullified. But it's TSM back to the B site. It's worked out so far. I would end it again.
Okay. Awkward. Awkward positioning now, at least for a couple of players from LGI, but they're at least playing these positions with the SMG pretty optimally. One in the back. Okay, it's not actually the SMG. Snake as the sheriff, ready and rearing to go, takes down drone. Still the rotation from LGI going actually full from the defensive side, and the Seekers, they know all. Hydro still able to get one back onto Sabrosa. Good angle from Cutler. He's gonna get paranoid out. Same thing with Wardell. In comes Hydro. He isolates the 1v1. And okay, in we go again. Nano Swarm. Hydro needed it. Still has to blow up the turret. Just trying to find a headshot angle. Yet another nano swarm, and it's gonna blow up in a perfect spot. What is up with Hayes and these nano swarms? Being perfect off post plants time and time again. And now Hydro falling to the jump peak of Hayes. Hayes plays time so well. He's done it now for the 4th time in this map.
Again, so close though for LGI. They're just missing out on 1 or 2 huge kills. It's been 3 rounds in a row. It's happened. Danny Steele in the last, missing out on the chance onto Hayes to win the round entirely. And LGI, or Hydro there in particular, had so many chances to cut down Hayes. If he maybe landed 1 more shot on Hayes crossing back over to their left side of Hookah, has that round in the bag. Now TSM, 1 more round before they have the first map in the bag. And it will be LGI back on a full buy. 2 major ults. Hunter Siri and Rolling Thunder to boot. TSM, I think maybe they're going to try and bait something out early. That Guiding Light will get no info, or at least reveal that there's nobody in showers. There is no chance of a retake. So TSM knocking on their door. It's Drone to go in with the blast back and the showstopper. And there's a chance to shut it down. 1-for-1 Danny Steele. And LGI now have got a huge advantage going forward into the retake possibly.
Possibly so, but it has to come up to Lug Lumpy at this point. Still pivoting around that U-Haul area. Hydro, there's nobody actually watching his cross over there, but he actually wants to fight for control of site. At least the cross up. Player in green box hasn't peeked out yet. Sabrosa, he's got to go, and there he is. Actually pops out into Hydro, but Secrets. That recon bolt actually drags Sabrosa away from his safe position. And now Rolling Thunder in the back. They gonna go for a cheeky defuse, but no, you gotta check that. Lug Lumpy, not able to get a defuse on in time. Hayes pops out. And he's going to be able to get to Team Solo Mid. They evade the upsets, and map number 1 goes their way.
Still, though, TSM, that was